tobacco, for I spent all my tin on a lassie drinking gin. Across the western ocean I must wander. I'm sick in me head and I haven't been to bed since first I came ashore with me plunder. I've seen centipedes and snakes, I'm full of pains and aches, and I'll have to take a pathway out yonder. Hello YouTubers, welcome to this month's free, tab free, of course it's free, it's YouTube, tab free lesson. And we switched instruments again. First things first, I want to say a very, very big thank you to everybody that listened to the 5-string banjo lesson. It received phenomenal numbers. And the way I see it, if lots of people are listening, then I'm doing something right. I've also received a request for a concertina tutorial. That will happen next month when I've decided on a particular song. But I've been feeling a bit delicate the last few days, so I thought we'd go with a sort of little delicate instrument. What can I say? I don't agree with the summer heat, and it doesn't agree with me. So we're going to be playing the ukulele today. This is a concert ukulele, 4 nylon strings. Now, let's get a few myths out of the way first. The ukulele is not a toy, like people say the harmonica is a toy. The harmonica is absolutely not a toy. You can get toy harmonicas, plastic ones, but they're not very good and most people avoid them. You can get sort of inferior ukuleles. I don't like the word student model. It makes them sound better than they are, and they are horrible, but decent ukuleles are actually pretty cheap. In fact, let's give you a closer look at this one. This one will cost you between 60 and 80 pounds, which is about $100 US, 120. You could probably get away with paying less than that. No, you don't need specific types of picks. There are people that say, no, you must have this type of pick. You must tune the ukulele to this tuning. You must sacrifice your firstborn child. And you must always play George Formby songs. What a load of rubbish. Never heard of rubbish in all my life. You can pretty much play whatever you like on the ukulele. It's not always guaranteed to rake in the audiences, but for a good laugh, as well as concerts, you know, if it's an instrument you want to take to a party just to knock out a couple of songs, you know, maybe Happy Birthday or your usual party song, and you want something portable that's not going to take up half the back seat of the car, this is ideal. This is a very portable little instrument, the ukulele. And this is a concert-sized one. They do come smaller than this, the soprano ukes, but I couldn't cope with one of those. And with only 4 strings, it's very easy to play, and there are various ways to hold it. You can hold it like this, like a small guitar. That's a little bit uncomfortable for me. So I prefer to hold it like this, sort of upright. I suppose it's all relative to your size. And forming chords on the ukulele is really, really easy. I mean, name me an instrument aside from the auto harp where you can make a chord with one finger. Exactly. Well, you can actually make 3 chords. C major, C6, C7, and I think a C diminished. Just there. And so it goes on, you know. So you've already got a chord at your fingertips, and we will be using that chord during this song. The 3 basic uke chords, G, C, and F. You can play hundreds of songs with those. Or if you just make your hand into this shape and put the little finger up top here, you've got 5 chords. So you've got a library of songs right there at your fingertips. Really, this is the perfect child's instrument. Perfect instrument if you've never played a string instrument before. It's a perfect one to start on. Because auto harps can be hard to get hold of in good nick. It's nylon strings, so it's not too hard on your fingers. Is there a downside? Well, nylon strings do go out of tune quite easily. Anyway, I'm going to assume that you have learned 4 or 5 chords on the uke, and we'll go into this week's song, which is the traditional English folk song, All For Me Grog. Now, we're just going to use a basic strum for this song. You can use all downstrokes, you can go up and down, or you can vary it up, as I'll be doing. That's entirely up to you. The chords we're going to use are G, C, and D, and possibly a D7, if you're feeling fancy. If you're not, don't use it. Simple. Nobody will know. So, the song is a nice, simple chord progression, 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's our rhythm. Very important to get in rhythm. So when we're counting ourselves in, sorry friends, the heat of the sun just doesn't agree with these strings. When we're counting ourselves in, we want a nice, even count. We don't want to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, and we don't want to be going 1, 2. It's not a dirge. Okay, so we've got the rhythm. Let's count in. If you've got a banjo, a guitar, anything at home, an accordion, please join in. Learn this song with us. So here we go. Let's start our first phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on our G chord. Start with the chorus. And it's all for me grog. Me. Now we change chord on the word jolly. We change to a C chord. Jolly, jolly, back to G, grog, stay on G. All for me beer and Now, for the second syllable of tobacco, when we sing tobacco, we play either a D chord or a D7. It's up to you. Or indeed, you can fit both in, because there's 4 beats. All for me beer and tobacco. I spent, and when you sing spent, you move back to G. Well, I spent all me tin on the ladies drinking. Now, when you sing on the, you get ready, and then on ladies, back to C, drinking, gin, back to G, G for gin. Or across the western ocean I must. And then we split wander across 2 chords. The D chord, 1, and then back to G. Duh. So let's try that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. All for me beer and tobacco. For I spent all me tin on a lady drinking gin. For across the western ocean I must wander. Now this song has about 6 verses. Verses you can look up. There's loads of lyrics to this. We'll just sing a couple of them, and you'll find that this chord progression is the same on every verse. It's just those few chords taking you through the whole song. I'm sick in the head and I haven't, on the word haven't we change to C, haven't been to back to G bed since first I called the show with me, the word plunder, D. For I have seen centipedes back to G, centipedes and snakes, and me head back to C. Head is full of aches, and I'll have to make a pathway out. And then we split yonder, like wander, across a D and a G chord. Yonder. Sing another verse. Where are me boots, me dirty noggin boots? They're all bound for beer and tobacco. And the heels are kicked about, and the uppers are looking up. That doesn't quite fit, I always get that wrong. Well, the uppers are letting in, and the soles are and the soles are all kicked in, and the heels are looking out for better weather. So there you are. You can look up the rest of the verses. It's a nice, easy song. It's a good, lively drinking song for parties. Probably not children's parties. I think that's more. I think this is more a Saturday night when the kids have gone to bed, around the barbecue type song. We'll sing a couple of more verses and then we'll be out of here. But I hope you've enjoyed this little tab-free lesson. Nice easy one for the hot weather. Let's sing some more verses, all for me grog, and please join in. And remember, like I always say, like Patrick always says, like any teacher worth his salt says, if you make a mistake, don't stop, carry on. If you can find your feet again. If you can't, then okay, while you're by yourself, stop and start again. If you're in a jam session, you won't be able to stop because nobody's going to wait for you. Just wait until you're back on familiar ground. Okay, here we go. Where is me shirt? Aye, me dirty noggin shirt. It's all gone for beer and tobacco. See the sleeves, they are all worn. Me collar, it is all torn. And the tail is looking out for better weather. And it's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. It's all for me beer and tobacco. For I spent all me tin on the ladies drinking gin, and across the western ocean I must wander. Where is me wife, aye, me dirty nagging wife? She's all for the beer and tobacco. For her front it was wore out, her arse got kicked about, and I'm sure she's looking out for better weather. And where is me bed, aye, me dirty nagging bed? It's all gone for beer and tobacco. For I sold it to the girls, the springs are all in twirls, and the sheets are looking out for better weather. See what fun sounds you can make with the ukulele, especially if you use a nice light pick like this. And if you want to test a pick's lightness, hold it by the point and flick it like that. If you can flick it easily, it's light enough. Don't try and do that with a heavy pick or you'll kill your strings. You can do it with your fingers, but as we've said before, mine are just a bit lazy, they won't wiggle. Anyway, take care folks, I'll see you soon. Look after yourself.
Stop recording video.